Got a bad feeling about this.
Hey everyone, Genome here, coming at you with the next episode of my Star Trek The Next Generation review series. The series where I take a look back at each and every episode of Star Trek The Next Generation and to see if they hold up to my lofty memories of them.
No, please!
I always proclaim this as my favorite series, even though that might have softened over the years, but irregardless, it was the one I remember most fondly, and so I have been going through Season 1, and it's been a roller coaster of disappointment, for sure, but to be expected. Admittedly, the first, basically 2 seasons were nothing to write home about. that's saying something, but let's go ahead and get into Episode 16 of Season 1, and that is When the Bough Breaks. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a really brief synopsis on this, and then just give you the pros and cons, and get on with the score. So, alright, so the Enterprise finds itself, following a trail of breadcrumbs of energy, I don't know, pulses or something, but it's leading back to this certain sector of space. And what comes out of this sector of space? Lo and behold, the mythical world of Aldea.
It's Aldea, Captain. It has to be.
Apparently legends are known about it, even though it's never been seen by anybody. Go figure. But basically the entire planet's cloaked.
It's a very long time to have such technology. Why do you reveal yourselves to us now?
We are eager to meet in person to discuss that.
So after some brief introductions and transporter shenanigans, the Aldeans introduce themselves.
You couldn't transport us. The only way through our shield is our way, Captain. Our cloaking device may be off, but our shield is operating.
Show inordinate interest in the Enterprise children, and eventually return the crew to the ship, and well, they being like 2 people down, and then they took the children that they wanted off the ship. We come to find out that these Aldeans can no longer have children.
I don't understand. How can the Federation help influence your children in your traditions?
Because we have no children, Commander.
Initially, they offered to trade, to barter for the children.
We need some of your children. In payment, we will give you information that would take you centuries to acquire.
Knowledge and technology, whatever it is they wanted. And then, of course, Will Riker, and actually one of his few, decent dramatic moments in the first season, emphatically says, no, we don't trade our children.
We sympathize with your situation, but what you ask is not possible.
And that's your final answer?
That's my only answer.
Well, the Aldeans can't understand this, and they are transported back, and then once again the children are taken. Now the 2 main Aldeans you'll see there are played by Jerry Hardin, who plays Radu, kind of the leader, I guess, and Brenda Strong playing Sue Ellen Mishke. I mean, Rochella. You might remember her as Sue Ellen Mishke from Seinfeld. She had some rather memorable moments in that series. I'll leave that to the Seinfeld files. But anyway, so Jerry Hardin is very terse and can't understand the intransigence of the Enterprise crew not wanting to trade their children for knowledge. But whatever the case may be, the children are taken. Wesley is the de facto leader. Yes, this is a heavy Wesley episode. Be prepared for that. Of about, 8 or 9 children. And they're all basically partitioned out to different sects of the society. They want some kids to be artists, sculptors, whatever it is they need. They don't really go through too many of them, right? But Wesley is introduced to the computer. Yes, we have another computer trope that, the computer controls everything. It's their god, basically. This one's called the Custodian.
Duana, what does the Custodian do?
It frees us from all burden. It takes care of all our needs. It regulates our lives.
Who built it?
The progenitors.
And they give Wesley access to this thing right away, even though all the children are professed interest to want to go home. But anyway, some things ensue. The Enterprise is taught a lesson by the Aldeans that they cannot take the children back no matter what they try. And the Aldeans actually use some energy pulse or whatever to push them out, not only of orbit, but it pushes them 3 days away in a matter of seconds from the planet at warp 9.
What was that?
I believe it was a repulsor beam.
Position report.
This is unbelievable, sir. According to my calculations, we're 3 days from Aldea.
So, small display of power to show that Enterprise is way out of its league, and the children are there to stay.
If you don't accept our terms, the Enterprise will be pushed so far away that by the time you return, your children will be grandparents.
You know, Wesley channels his inner resistance and begins a hunger strike with the kids and all that. There's a lot of stuff that, well, actually not much more stuff, but there's some other things that ensue, and I won't ruin the ending for you, but basically is a child abduction kind of plot, which is a new one for the most part for Star Trek. And there we have it, when the bow breaks, excuse me.
Thank you.
So, let's talk about some pros and cons. We'll start with the pros first, because once again, as per usual for the first season, there's not too many to go through, so this part should go quick. I did like Jerry Hardin's portrayal of Radu. He's very, matter of fact and completely arrogant, and I kind of like it. But it's not like this sneering, malevolent arrogance. He's just arrogant, right?
Radu, exactly why were we invited here?
We propose a trade, one which would solve our problem and give something back to the Federation.
I like that. You know, he thinks he's very superior to the Enterprise and their crew, and, well, the technology does apparently make him so, but I do like his portrayal. And I do like his rather quizzical responses to Picard and the other cast members who say, you know, our children are not for sale, and he just kind of shakes his head and smiles. He's like, why? You know, so I like that. It's kind of, it brings an alien, well, not so much alien, it actually brings a human touch to the supposedly alien culture, right? By the way, these humans these aliens are humans. That's how easy to get these mixed up, because there's nothing that says these things are anything but human. They're perfectly human. There's no makeup even on these things. They wear colorful clothing. They could be from Haight-Ashbury. I mean, goodness gracious. So, yeah, look like a bunch of space hippies, really. But okay, whatever. First season, it's to be expected, I guess. No budget. But yeah, so these aliens can't have children, and they want the Enterprise's crew children. So, but anyway, I liked his portrayal. Is there anything else I like about this episode? Not really. No. There's nothing new here. So anyway, let's go on and get into the cons. Oh boy. This episode is just one gigantic con. Once again, it just feels like so much filler, and it's so much retread from the original series. You know, the original series wore you down too with the omnipresent, godlike computer that was controlling entire societies and cultures and worlds even, and this one's no different. It's just the same tired idea.
In my weaker moments, I almost pity them.
Of people become so accustomed to this computer control and doing it all of the labor and everything for them that they've kind of like devolved in a way, you know. And wow, I think there's some correlation there with government dependency and tie-ins. But anyway, I'll leave that be.
Your custodian has controlled you so completely, you've lost even the desire to question it.
Didn't you wonder why you were getting checks for doing absolutely nothing?
I figured because the Democrats were in power again.
There's also kind of they try to make it funny, but it's not funny. Like, this is how ham-fisted the writers were with, like, season 1. Like, the little boy is walking with his dad. This is one of the kids that gets abducted, and he's like, but Dad, I don't want to take calculus. And the kid's like maybe 8.
Dad, I want to be an artist, but I don't want to take calculus anymore.
So they're trying to show how evolved humanity's become. You know, oh, look, we're sending our kids to calculus, you know, at age 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever it is, you know, as opposed to, 16 years old. Unless you're from some other countries, maybe that's actually true. But it's just so laughable and so bad and so hack. But whatever. You know, most of the cast, like the cast aliens, is kind of nondescript. I mean, I guess Brenda Strong seems kind of maternal, but, you know, not much is asked of her. The Enterprise crew, you know, for the one time that Beverly Crusher doesn't freak out when Wesley's in trouble, it's this episode. Now she's all calm, and she's like, well, we all knew the risk. She's like spokesman for the parents, too. So, it's just so different from her character. What we've already had established in the first season. What was it? Justice? When she was freaking out about, of course, it was a death penalty, but you get my idea. So it's just, I don't know, people doing nonsensical things. At least we were spared much of Counselor Troy in this episode, thank goodness. You figure this would be like a Troy-heavy episode, but thank goodness it wasn't. So, just cons. It's a Hackney story. There's nothing going on. There's no sense of, like, I don't know, danger at all. I mean, because the only weaponry these people show is they push the Enterprise away, right? That's it. So, you know, they're looking like humans out there. There's just not much to recommend in this episode. I'm sorry. I liked the arrogance of the aliens a little bit, but there's only one of them that seems really arrogant, and the other ones are like, like I said, hippie artists and pacifists, or whatever. So it's like, it's just not a good, I don't know, enemy, for lack of a better term, even though those people wouldn't consider themselves enemies, even though they kidnap the kids, right? For the Enterprise, it's just kind of lame, you know, they dance around things, and I don't know. I don't care for this episode that much at all, outside of, like I said, Jerry Hardin, so this entire episode just a con for me. Interesting notion and idea, though, but once again, it's been done. It's been done to death. Oh, of course, they got to throw the climate change freaking buzzword of the 80s in there. It's the ozone layer. They've lost their ozone layer. Oh my gosh, man. Can you add any more tropes or current day event pop culture references into one episode? I don't know, but whatever the case may be.
I want a world where I can eat a sea otter without getting sick.
It's just not a great episode. So anyway, yeah, I would give this one like really low marks. I don't like it. It's a 1 or 2 at best out of 5, but I'd just go 1 because I don't enjoy it and have no plans of watching it ever again.
It sucks.
But anyway, your mileage may vary. So anyway, that little dour bit of reviewing out aside. Sorry it took so long for this one to come out. I'll try to be a little more frequent with these in the future, but you know how it is. This first season's so hard to get through. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more reviewed content coming up in the near future, because as you all know, if I can review it, I will do it. Anyway, until next time, this is Genome. Just hoping this first season will end in a relative either soon time or a fireball. Out.
I have it! And let's slip the dogs of war.